Hey, what have we here? What is going on, everyone? How you doing? How you doing out there? What's up? How you doing? And how's it going out there today? What's going on? I am Solar Gray. Welcome to Bust a Recap. And this is the show where we talk about all the stuff coming up in future media. All right. And today I'm going to be talking about trailers because, I've been gone for a while. There's been a whole bunch of stuff going down with, um, different trailers, COVID, just so many other things. But let me get to everything that is important on all of this, which is, of course, saying hi to you and everybody that's out there. And I want to say, hey, what's up? Nope, I am not doing that particular thing. The editing bay right now is going, hey, you want to do a McAfee check? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do McAfee. I don't want to do AVG. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to do my job. Okay? I just want to do my job. That's all I want to do. So, thank you guys for showing up. How you guys doing? And we're going to be talking about some really fun stuff today. We got a couple of things that are coming down. Um, do, 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 do. Yeah, got a couple of things. I was doing my best to get a guest in today, but he um he had a family thing come like 3 minutes after we were initially supposed to start the show. So I'm like, oh man, this is not cool. This is not great. So I had to put back our whole thing and I was trying to find another co-host. Okay. So at the moment, you guys who have been watching the show or all of these shows for a little while, y'all know all the stuff that I gotta do. As far as as far as all of the um do 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 boo, do 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 yeah. But you guys know what I gotta do as far as all of the production and finding my mouse and all that stuff. Yeah, so just trying to get all that stuff. But today, what we are gonna talk about, um oh wait, looks like we have a special guest. Special guest. Hang on, I'll send a Zoom link. Uh yeah. So let's take a look. Unfortunately, he might not be able to he might not be able to show his face because it's a face. Yeah, there we go. And boom, there we are. All right. So I'm normally a lot more prepared than this, but y'all know goes, there's a thing and you got another thing and a whole another thing, and it's like, hey, move that thing and that thing. But while we're here, if you guys got any questions or anything to that particular effect, cool. All I would need you to do is ask me, sit up, talk to me, say, hey, what's going on? And how would you do that? Well, you would do that by sending an email to backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. And of course, that is the way to drop us a thing. Now, you can hit us up on Twitter at Back in the Deck. You can hit us up on Instagram, on Facebook, on Deckers on Book, and we're starting up a TikTok, y'all. We're our TikTok. We're starting up a TikTok. And yeah, so that is a thing that we are doing. So that's going to be fun. And of course, if you guys want to support us, you guys can easily do that by liking and subscribing on YouTube. If for some reason you guys are watching this here on YouTube, God, I'm sounding like every other live caster that I like, which is kind of cool, but not quite, but not cool, but whatever. And you can head on over, if you are so inclined, to patreon.com/BID_P, and you can become a patron. And if you're doing that just for $1 a month, you guys get live streams, private live streams, early access to a lot of the skits and stuff that we do. I'm working on putting together interviews, other stuff like the arts and crafts shows, all of the stuff that we're doing on that front, and it's pretty awesome and pretty fun. And once we get all that up and going, then yeah, we will be able to do all of that cool stuff. So back patreon.com slash bid underscore p. And of course, we have another little thing happening right here, which is yeah. Hey, how you guys doing? So yeah. And just in case you guys are what is the term I'm looking for? Um, well, like I said, we should be at the moment live on oh, we are. Yes, look at us. That chat is up. That chat is going. Let's take a look. Hey, yeah, look at you guys right over there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we got the chat going. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Yep, we are busting a recap on quite a few trailers, and that is going to be some fun stuff going on here tonight. So, pull up a chair, have some fun, and all of that. Major shout outs to my chat over here. Who do we got in the chat today? Of course, we've got Clever Lil Vixen holding it down like I swear this particular one is the user that almost has the perfect record. What's going on? Hoso0312, another TTV viewer. Remux and Chasen TV, thank you so much for coming down. At the moment, I'm mainly checking to see if my guest is showing up. Let me take a look to see if I sent him the proper link. Let's yeah. So we're looking at like 5 or 10 minutes. So while I'm here and I'm talking to you guys, there are so many things that I want to talk to you guys about, and we are gonna start. All right. So there have been some people wanting me to weigh in on a lot of issues that have been going on. I actually got a couple of emails and stuff like that, and I'm just sitting up going, all right, if I got to do an email or two, this is going to be a PITA. PITA, that's what I call a pain in the butt. And so instead of reading their emails out loud and putting them on blast like that, some people were asking what I was thinking about this nonsense going down in Texas. So I'm just gonna say this real quick. All right. They figured out a way to keep something legal or legal-ish and then push a whole lot of social pressure behind it. Personally, I think that's kind of dumb. But what I will say is this. Where I come from, snitches get stitches. All right, that's what I'm talking about. And setting a law up there, out there, that states anybody can snitch on anybody else to the tune of $10,000, that wouldn't go well in LA. All right, and there would be a whole lot of wacky stuff going on with that particular law. And given that this is Texas, which is also an open carry state, so there is an old parable about how there were mice in the house, and then they bought a bunch of cats, and the cats took care of the mice, but then took over the house, so they bought a dog, and it goes up and up and up and up and up, and yeah. So got a whole bunch of people saying, oh, I'm gonna snitch on this person, and you know, now we've got the Ultra Karen hotline in an open carry state. I'm glad I live in California, and that's all I'm going to say on that particular thing, because I don't really like talking politics here unless it's huge and cumbersome. Not to say that this isn't big, but again, this is one of those things where the conversation can get real heated real quick, and there's a lot to be said over it, and I'm just one dude talking on a camera, at least until I get the co-host showing up. So today we're gonna be talking about quite a few trailers. All right, we got that Venom 2 that we're gonna be talking about coming up. We also got there's a new 007 or James Bond times 1,000, which I believe it's a Never a Good Day to Die, or Dying on a Sunday, or it's a James Bond movie, so it's like Die Another Day, but second Sunday from Tuesday, but only if it ends in a W, because you're James Bond, so you're not going to die anyway, that kind of thing. And what was that other thing? Um, what other thing was I talking about today? Oh yeah, there was some trailer that dropped this morning. I think it was like Muslix or Fusel or what was it? Muslin? No, I don't think it was muslin. That's what I've got hanging all over the studio. What was it? No. I don't know. I think it was marker or something like that. But new flick coming out, and so yeah, we gonna see what that is about right there. But before we get started, and before we are doing all of this jazz, I want to say hello and um introduce everybody to a very good friend of mine. This is essentially the CEO and main director of Sepulture Films. The dude has won so many awards for short film and screenwriting, and the dude has been working on documentaries about haunted houses and carnival life, and you name it, this guy has done it. And I will tell you, this has been one of my very good friends for a good while. I think we're coming up on like 6 years now. Although I don't see him nearly as much since he left California and I moved the Wizards Tower to C1379A. Everybody, this is my good friend Matt. How you doing, Matt? Matt Roosevelt.
Good. Good to see you, man. Thanks
Good.
for having me.
Hey, man. Thanks for being on. Thanks for finding the time, or should I say, um, bailing me out of this particular situation. Let me tell
That's
you.
that's what I do. We put out fires every day. It's the name of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, seriously, seriously. So, you were gonna like what we were talking about today because we are doing some trailer reacted right now, and I'm like, okay,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. Normally, this is my pop culture review show, but there are so many things out there that people are watching between American Horror Story and Ted Lasso and My Hero Academia and whatever the anime kids are watching these days, and then the stuff on YouTube and the YouTube channels that I'm like, I've been off the market for 4 months because of a family emergency. What error shall I talk about? And today, I'm like, I haven't. Oh, wait, theaters are opening back up. That trailer came. Oh my God. Yeah. So I gotta ask. I seriously gotta ask you. What did you think about Venom starring Tom Hardy? That is the real thing.
I love Tom Hardy, and I love what Tom Hardy did with his performance. When it came to the content of the movie, I wasn't very impressed. Mostly because I felt like, and I just felt like it was kind of trying to toe the line of being very PC.
Okay.
When I think of a Venom story, I think of something a little more gruesome. Um, but that's a personal opinion. I love Tom Hardy's performance. I feel like the movie could have been a little less safe.
Gotcha.
I also feel like the relationship between the symbiote and Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock was very rushed.
Okay.
Uh, I think they bonded over a conversation mid, web swinging, and I feel like that was, and they both bonded over being they're losers in their own communities. All they needed in order to become very symbiotic, and I wish there was more to it. I feel like it was way too rushed.
I kind of get that. When that movie came out last year, okay? When that movie or whenever it came out, there was another movie that came out at the time called Upgrade. And their promotional shot was essentially the same scene. Just, hey, look, I'm an actor with brown hair and a pretty nice physique being taken over by something and beating people that are invading my apartment while I'm going, no, no, what are you doing? So I thought the timing wasn't that great, especially since, in my humble opinion, I believe I gave Carnage a three of a kind, but Upgrade got a full house in the rating system. And it's sad because the lower budget movie that wasn't put out by something like Sony ended up being just not just the better product, but the better experience in my opinion.
That tends to be true. I mean, the bigger products are made, the bigger films are products made by corporations designed to sell as many views or movie tickets as possible, and they base their decisions not on the metrics or lack thereof, because there didn't used to be metrics in Hollywood, but they base them on metrics. What popular sneaker is big this year, and what celebrities big this year, and what color are people going to be more receptive to? You put all that stuff together, you get a movie. I'm
Hey.
way oversimplifying it, but
Hey, knock that out, man. I can't have too much truth about the industry here. I'm trying to get a sponsorship. All right, man. That's it.
But
Let me on my show, and he just tears everything down with all this truth telling. So
I
says the
guess my point
independent
is,
filmmaker.
like with the major movies, I mean, they're designed to be as appealing to the largest group of people as possible, and C is the average grade for a reason.
That's
That's
true.
pretty much.
That is very true. Well, let's check out this is like a month ago, but that's okay because I've been down from family emergencies, as a lot of the Deckers know. But let's check out the trailer. The official trailer part 2 for Venom: Let There Be Carnage, starring Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and a big lump of goo. Let's check this jazz.
All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
So loud, so loud.
Lady here. We should be out there snacking on bad guys.
Give me just a moment here. Yeah, there we go.
I am a predator.
Oh, oh.
You have got to get control of your aggression. Get hauled off into Area 51. Live in my body.
Yeah, that's totally original.
Rules.
I'm sorry,
Ow.
I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it. So I can forget again.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'm not gonna lie. So far, I can't show the whole thing because I don't want to get what's the term I'm looking for? Flags, since we are live on YouTube. But just watching this video, and the video is on YouTube, but I never realized that Carnage, or that that Venom and Eddie Brock had the relationship of an abusive spousal situation. It's just, I don't know. Sitting up going, oh no, oh my God, there's all right, no, I don't want you to do that. And Carnage just like, what? I told you that ashtray. Just give me an ashtray. That's just what I'm saying. What are you thinking so far?
It's funny. I feel awkward because I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, oh man, yeah, I am dropping
Yeah.
the ball on this like crazy. Let me tell you what. But yeah, this is what I'll do over here, just so you can do the thing. I'll just send you a quick link to the trailer here. But yeah, it's okay. We're gonna be doing some Bond stuff too, and we're gonna be checking out the trailer that drops this morning, as a matter of fact, because that's what everybody's here to see. People are like, oh man, it's that time. It dropped this morning. Everything's all fresh and new and crazy and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about that Matrix trailer that dropped this morning, because after what, 3 John Wick movies, the perfect follow-up to John Wick, as long as we got Keanu with a beard beating people up, let's throw on another Matrix. Why not? Let's do a Matrix. So that's the whole thing. Have you been excited about this?
I saw the Matrix franchise has been very interesting. The first movie is fantastic. A standalone film, it's awesome. The number 2 and 3 felt very, very forced, very much so products. By the third movie, I remember I was predicting everything that was going to happen because it felt like nothing but a series of tropes. I honestly haven't had Matrix on my radar for a long time. I love the original one. I wouldn't mind seeing how they revitalize it, but 2 and 3 were not very impressive. So it's interesting to me how franchises in general, they're really trying to build franchises for almost every major motion picture. And if they screw up, then they'll just try again and again and again and continue with a continuity, hoping that the next movie they make will be good, which is interesting because sometimes it works. Look at King Kong versus Godzilla. It was finally, after it took them 3 movies to make a good American Godzilla film for Legendary Pictures.
I will
But
say the Godzilla versus King Kong, that movie slapped. I gotta say, like,
it did. But
I
like
yeah.
I'm sure you remember this, man. Back in the day, franchises were very, very, very well thought out. Star Wars was a trilogy. I mean, I know it was originally one movie, but it was like one movie, and then the next movie got better, and the next movie got better. Back to the Future felt very controlled. It's not always true. You can find examples of like, sequels flying on the seat of their pants from the past, like the Jaws movies. But I noticed they the film industry wants to create franchises, and if they have something that they know has worked in the past or has made money, they'll keep it going. And Matrix, I'd be curious to see how they revitalize it. Haven't seen any trailers. I heard that there was another one coming out, but
Hmm.
I'd be curious to see what they do. I'm
Well,
going in blind.
well, I will tell you, we gonna get to that today. We're gonna get to that. But it's funny that you bring up the franchise thing because our second trailer that I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Um, I'm sending you a link right now. There you go. I
Mhm.
sending you a link to the second trailer. But when it comes to the whole keeping the franchises going, I know we're at a point in the industry right now where a lot of people say, "Oh no, they've got no imagination." I promise you they do. I've seen the stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of scripts that are still spec and that they don't know what to do with and they're waiting for the right time. But we're also in this part that a lot of people saw coming back in the 1980s, where it's less about it's really less about keeping new ideas and keeping things fresh going as it is about retaining old properties. It's like we might want to do something with that again in 5 years, so let's make something now to make sure that we can hold on to the rights. I don't care if we're talking about like Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. I don't care if we're talking about well, if it's been rebooted, chances are it's been rebooted not because someone had a vision, but because the movie company didn't want to go on, didn't want the property to go into public domain, you know? Because the last thing that I forgot what company it was, I think it was Fox. They wanted another RoboCop, but the one we got was the one that they're like, okay, this will keep us a license for another 7 to 10 years, and that's really a big thing. Like as soon as everything comes out in a way that the companies are assured that they can keep stuff going, then we'll start getting a lot more, what's the term? A lot more original stories, at least marketing behind the original stories. Because, we're at what, 3 movies? 3 movies a week from every company if you include streaming. So that's a big thing.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I probably do sound jaded or whatever because I'm like calling out Hollywood, but I gotta say, it takes a lot of creativity to take something that is created prepackaged and make it amazing. And there's a lot of examples of very creative popcorn movies, like the Avengers franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe overall.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would go with that.
even the new, and I love James Gunn, the new Suicide Squad. He took a franchise that I absolutely hated and made the movie I liked. You know,
I was gonna ask you what you thought about the Suicide Squad. Like, check under Suicide Squad. Oh no, it got an Oscar, but it was terrible. We'll try the
no,
Suicide Squad.
James Gunn's great, man. Everything he touches is at the bare minimum entertaining. And
I'm
many
guessing
years
somebody
ago.
saw Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah, I mean, classic. Yeah. Back in the day, God, it's been a long time. But I had the privilege to interview Eric Plaskow, and for those who don't know, he was the very last president of United Artists, and he's also one of the founders of Orion Pictures. I met him. He was in his late 90s, and he's the guy. He had like 5 Oscars on his desk, and they're from movies, Silence of the Lambs, Amadeus. He's the guy behind all these movies. And I asked him, so, and he financed Rocky. He's the guy who gave Stallone money to create the very first Rocky movie. And I asked him, what kind of metric
wow.
did you use to greenlight something like Rocky? You know, and he said there were no metrics back in the day.
Yeah.
I
like the story, so I paid for it to
Yeah.
get made, you know.
Exactly. He just liked Stallone. He thought he was a sharp guy and had a good story and said, you know what, I feel comfortable funding this movie because I think I can make some money off of it. It was that simple.
Yeah.
And, you know, the industry's changed. So that's an interesting thing to note and see how. But I still think there is a lot of creativity in Hollywood. It's just unfortunately wrapped in a series of like red tape and containers. And, you know, the industry is what it is. There's a lot of dark points to it. But I mean, I think it's very creative for somebody to be able to take something that everybody's going to assume is just going to be like every other movie and make it really good.
Right. So yeah, that's a thing. But speaking of franchises that that how can I put it? That will not die. Oh my God, we're talking about the longest running franchise in I think movie history, but I'm just pulling that out of my butt. And that is there's a new trailer popped out for our man, our myth, the Batman with no cape. And this particular thing, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's about that time. And I'm doing a trailer show today primarily because 2020 was 2020. I can't even say that it sucked because no name suits its nature but its own. So there were so many movies that were supposed to come out that got pushed back to this year, pushed back to the end of this year, pushed back till next year. And I've been going, you know what? I haven't seen anything with a blonde bombshell lately. So what can I do about that particular thing? And sure enough, I'm kicking around YouTube earlier this week, and this whole thing came up. So let's check out the trailer for No Time. No time. I got no time. I'm busy. I'm super busy. But we're checking out No Time to Die.
James,
Oh,
fate
did it again.
draws us back together. Now your enemy is my enemy.
What'd you do?
How did that happen?
Well, you
Oh, I didn't have him on. Like, what did you do? Yeah, I didn't push the right button.
Heroes these days.
We used to be able to get into a room with the enemy. Now they're just floating in the ether.
She still loves you. Did you know that? What is it?
And to this day, you know, Bond still looking Cro-Magnon. I mean, really, just that Daniel Craig forehead.
I don't know her at all.
You know, Bond was never a franchise that appealed to me personally, and I've seen a few of them, and I tried to watch more. There's things about it I like, and I know it's a beloved franchise. This looks
Yeah.
very entertaining. I always, first of all, I'm just not a big action guy. I mean, with exceptions, but I always just kind of lumped it in a box of dudes with guns running and screaming and fighting, and that's it. This
Yeah.
looks interesting though. They got like some gimmicks. They got the guys in the masks.
Yeah.
It looks pretty. Looks
a,
good.
a beautiful woman in a Bond film? No.
Yeah.
You know. But
Well,
you know,
that's always welcome. I'll watch that regardless.
but you know, wait, here we go. You know, oh, look at that. Oh yeah. On September 30th, Daniel Craig is going to get wet.
Speaking
There'll
of
be
which,
bridges
all right.
and a car. And Daniel Craig, dirty and beating people up.
You know, from last year, R.I.P. Bond #1, Sean Connery from 2020.
Yeah, I was a Lazenby fan.
Oh yeah.
No, I was actually a Roger Moore fan, truth be told.
I was gonna say Roger Moore or Pierce Brosnan.
But you know, in this one, Bond fights Freddie Mercury. He's got no time to die. Versus Who Wants to Live Forever? I mean, seriously.
Well, nothing
You know.
can stop him now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm going, man, all right, this is a Bond movie. That's what this is. But you know what? It is the franchise that just will not go away. It will not stop. And I get it. I know so many people. One of my favorite pulp writers, Jim Butcher, said when asked who was cooler, Spider-Man or Batman, he said that Batman is cooler because at the end of the day, he's James Bond. He's got the gadgets, the girls, the jumping. I'm like, yeah, but my favorite part of Batman is the cape. Um, but turns out that at the end of the day, Spider-Man is Charlie Brown, always trying to kick the football. Good grief. Um, and oh wow, I didn't realize we just did a Spider-Man-ish trailer and a James Bond trailer. God, I'm such a nerd. But yeah, but this movie looks like everything you want out of a James Bond movie. You got the cars, you got the girls, you got the violence, all of the violence. Um, and truth be told, really, it really just after the year that we have had, what I will say is comfort food is comfortable. It really is. I love the art. I do love the art, and I love a lot of auteur filmmaking. But a lot of the times, sometimes you need something that's familiar, that's predictable, that you can see the ending, that isn't pushed as the new unique adventure. This is like, this is my bread, my meat, my cheese, my bacon, my lettuce, my tomato. That's what I got. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
Everything you say I agree with, and I think they added a little extra. On top of that, they got Scarface, what looks like a Scarface bad guy. That looks very
Hmm.
Bondy. Uh, Donald Pleasance. Uh, they got the creepy masks, which is a nice touch because it creates kind of a little more of a gimmick for people who are probably more into thriller, suspense, maybe even touch horror. Um, it looks fantastic. I mean, for a
Yeah.
Bond movie, it seems probably like a little more appealing to me as somebody who's not an action guy so much. It looks like it's playing on a couple other genre tropes.
I definitely get that. I totally see what you're talking about when it comes to that. It's actually funny, because James Bond is one of those things. It's like Woody Allen movies. Like them or love them, everybody has one that they like. At least one that they
Yours?
like. Huh?
What's yours?
My Annie Hall. Oh wait, oh no, sorry, you mean
James Bond and Annie Hall.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, my James Bond movie is Moonraker, man. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
I was a child. It was Roger Moore. He had all these cool gadgets, and then they went to space and fought with lasers. And I said, you know what? I'm in. I am totally in. Now there's a thing about action movies though, because action movies, the just good old Eddie Izzard popcorn thing of just, oh my god, I'm not. You know, I'm actually wondering for action franchises, like we're getting a James Bond movie and then a Fast and the Furious movie, like practically back to back. It would have been back to back if not for COVID. So I don't know. It's Fast and Furious is catching up. I mean, there's 9 and there's 30 Bond flicks, but it's kind of like Friday the 13th, the other franchise that won't die. Um, but I think they're really good for what they're doing.
These days, you probably say Halloween is doing a lot better than the Friday the 13th.
That's
So,
true. That is true. Because Jamie Lee Curtis can still walk. And as long as that is the case, we are going to get another Michael Myers
forget about walking. She's still breathing. You keep her in a bed on a respirator. Like keep those movies going.
Wow. Are you saying like Jamie Lee Curtis plays Stephen Hawking in Halloween Part 27?
Probably.
Um,
I wouldn't be surprised if she was bedridden. I'm sure they'd find an excuse to put her in a Halloween movie.
well, I will say the character of Laurie Strode, even if she was bedridden, she would still fight Michael Myers because she refuses to let him kill her. She could be
Oh,
struck by a bolt of lightning, but she's like, "Oh, I'm dying. Michael, oh hell no. Hell, I'll snap my
much.
own neck." Seriously.
Not today.
Yeah, seriously. Um, but yeah, so I've been I checked that out and I am odd on the Bond movies. I'm not gonna lie. I like some of them. Um, there's others that I kind of go, okay, they're there, but again, um, they are what they are for their audience, and their audience goes nowhere. And I'm cool with that. Like, a lot of people get really upset with me because there's so few things in media that I hate. I'm like, nah, that's I can deal with this. I can deal with this because what I do have to say about the franchise is it knows what it is, it knows what it wants to be, and it never clumsily tries to be anything else. It says, we're Bond movies. Boom. How you doing? You know, you want violence, you want pretty people, you want cool cars, you want explosions. Here you go. And it's never, ever, ever tried to move from that. The closest time it tried to move away from that was The Living Daylights, where they tried to address like the opium crisis of the Middle East, you know. And of course, it ended with Timothy Dalton falling out of an airplane, taking down a whole bunch of Middle Eastern opium runners. So that's what it is. That's what you're getting. And is it gonna be unique? I highly doubt it. Is it gonna be unusual? Probably not. Is it gonna be a Bond movie? Absolutely. What I'm wondering is if this is the final Daniel Craig flick. You know, that's my question.
I was assumed every Daniel Craig flick is the last one, but he keeps coming back.
Ouch.
He looks good. What can I say? You know?
Yeah, it's very true. It's
So
very
what are
true.
the things that you don't like? The things you hate? Because you said there's very few things you hate.
You mean like in movies? Well, one of the
Mhm.
things I hate, and this is stuff like one of the things on my channel is if I really, 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 really hate it, I just don't talk about it. My back hurts too much for me to focus on stuff that I hate. I hate. Um, I'm not a big fan of contrived musicals. um, really not a big fan. We didn't talk about Cats for a reason. Um, Primarily, I didn't like the stage show. I have this thing of unless I'm in person on stage, I could use a plot, please, please,
That was the
just a
first
little
Broadway
bit.
show I ever saw. I was 5 years old, and my grandmother took me to see Cats.
See,
Yeah.
the very first Broadway show I ever saw, I was so young, I can't remember if it was Dreamgirls, The Wiz, or Les Mis. I
Hmm.
know, yeah. I mean, it was, I mean, it's one of those things where, my girl and I are always going rounds about this because she loves musicals. If somebody breaks out into a non-diegetic dance number for no particular reason, she is all in. It's just like, shut up and take my money, take it all. Oh, we've got somebody that's like, okay, My Fair Lady. In the chat, we got Vine Contract and like, by George. She's yeah, by George. She likes My Fair Lady. Which is funny because I discovered Rex Harrison through the Ghosted Mrs. Muir, so that was kind of a thing for me. But I've always been more dramatic. I like plays more than I like musicals. Um, and the one thing I hate, I have to say, is the definition of pretension. Things that take, like projects that take themselves way more seriously than they deserve to be taken. That's really one of my things. I can't even think of a pretentious work off the top of my head. Um, when I really think about the stuff that I hate, um, it's like when you're watching the extras on a DVD, like the little featurette of a movie, and you have a young actor who's new to the business that's over enthusiastic about the script. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Like I was watching House of a Thousand Corpses when it came out, and one of the actors is like, "Oh my god, it's just so cool! It's in the '70s, and it's got this aesthetic." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm hearing every word you're saying, and you were just doing the job and getting paid." I feel bad for you, man. I really feel bad for you.
It's
Yeah.
funny you say that because the thing that I hate is when is kind of the inverted. It's when there's a severe lack of care for getting the content right, especially when it just drops in your lap. Like, and you may remember this, Solar, Batman versus Superman. How do you fuck that up? How do you ruin something so easy to get right? That
Studio notes.
Yeah.
Studio notes. And given what happened to Snyder's family during the filming of Justice League, that doesn't just come out of the blue. So Home Life was probably in such a wreck that at that particular time when he was working on everything, it might have bled over. I don't know. Oh, really, Afatagan? You really want us to go there? All right. You doing okay on time, Matt?
Yeah, right now I'm okay.
Okay, because right here in the chat, we got our dude right here, good old Afatagan. It's like opinions on trash cinema like Trauma. Get
Awesome.
comfortable. Get
Oh yeah,
comfortable.
God. Look, if you can tell a production team is having fun, it's gonna show on camera regardless of the quality of the movie.
Exactly.
I've seen some. By the way, I'm production manager for Shockfest Film Festival. We've been running for 13 years. We're going to be at December 10th. I watch thousands of movies every year, and most of those movies are really, really bad. But some of those really, really bad movies are a lot of fun because you could tell that there was a lot of love and entertainment put in, like, behind the scenes between the people making those films.
You know what?
Trash movies can be entertaining both ironically and unironically, for different reasons.
When I think about trash movies like Trauma, especially in the early days of Trauma, we're talking Blondes Have More Guns, Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki-Man NYPD. They are to film what punk is to rock and roll. You know, you've got people that have a lot of budding talent that haven't had the chance to polish it, but they're playing with heart. They mean every frame that they're doing, you know. I think back to, we brought up James Gunn and the Suicide Squad, or the Guardians of the Galaxy. And you could really see his Trauma roots back from the days of Blondes Have More Guns and Romeo and Juliet.
Almost literally, because Lloyd had a cameo.
Yeah, exactly. So the people that do trash movies, like, there are really two types of trash movies. When it comes to Trauma, and Full Moon, and half of the stuff Asylum puts out, you can see that those people have just as much heart as 12-year-olds on YouTube. Okay, they mean everything that they're doing, and they're doing the best they can with what little they know, but they mean it in every single frame. You know, it doesn't even matter how stoned they were at the time. But God, did they mean every little bit, you know?
You wanna watch a good Trauma movie? Watch Terra Firma, and it's also a really funny and bitter hate letter about the entertainment industry and what goes on behind the scenes. It was made in the 90s, but man, it's got a lot of venom and it's very smart. And you can tell Lloyd had a blast. Lloyd Kaufman, the creator of Trauma, had a blast making it. And it reminds me of Peter Jackson's Meet the Feebles in a way.
Oh,
because
man.
that too is a dark hate letter to the industry.
Yeah.
It just shows how horrible the entertainment biz is, but it's such a fun watch. You know, it's just funny. It's just so goofy. It's just so outlandish.
Yeah, I will say that my favorite hate letter to the industry was, and it's going to take a lot to knock this off of my throne, just like it'll take an amazing goddess to knock Angela Bassett off the throne of most attractive black woman in history, is Mulholland Drive from David Lynch. That movie is everything that I came to learn about Hollywood from 13 years old on. I'm just
That
like...
That might be objectively David's best movie. Maybe. I got to think about that.
That's going to be a tough one to measure, because I can be objective, but I know my favorite David Lynch movie through all my heart is Dune. I know. In a world with Eraserhead and Blue Velvet, Dune is still my favorite. Don't at me.
I'm a Blue Velvet guy, through and through. I love the little cameo. Brad Dourif has a bit role in there, and he doesn't even speak. You hear him laugh though when he's hanging out with Dennis Hopper, and you know that laugh because you've seen Child's Play.
Yeah, but the surrealness of Dean Stockwell singing a 1950s Pat Boone type song, that's where they lost me. Like, if it had been
Hmm.
a song from the Supremes, I would have been there. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you mean the Roy Orbison one? In Dreams? Is that are we
Yes.
talking? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
So
weird and fun and very memorable. I liked that.
I
And he
know,
sang
I
it
know.
in
I'm
a
just not
light
the biggest Roy Orbison fan. That's all.
manner.
That's
You
the
know,
whole
not a Pretty Woman fan.
No, no, no. Well, I became a Pretty Woman fan after I found out that Michael Jackson bought Roy Orbison's catalog. And I'm like, you
Ah,
know what? I can get down. I can get down with Roy Orbison. Let me pay Michael more money. Uh, but yeah, so that's a thing. Yeah, Alpha Talking is cool. Let's see what else we got. Submit it for your approval. Batman and Robin. No, no, Vixen, you're my number one Decker.
Batman and Robin. I think it's very misunderstood. Look, it doesn't belong in the continuity of the Tim Burton movies, even though I know it is in the continuity. But frankly, if you just look at it as like a 90s readaptation of the Adam West style, Batman franchise, and you just enjoy it for being a stupid movie, it is what it is. It doesn't fit in the
Um,
dark, brooding world Tim Burton created for sure. But as a standalone piece, I don't hate it.
in truth, I agree 100%. Now that for those of you guys that know I've been gone for a little, part of what my goneness has been learning DaVinci Resolve for the editing. I've been on Premiere for years, now I'm on DaVinci and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's a thing." But what I will have to say is once I get my chops with that, I'm adding all of the automatopoeias from the comic books that the Schumacher Batmans deserve because they were filmed, they were there. We needed the bang and the bam and the splat and the oofs in all of those because that's exactly what they were. They were a tribute to 1990 or 1965 in 1995. Just wish we'd been told that's what we were getting. That's it. So yeah, it's a thing. So for our main event, because I try to only make this show about an hour long, an interesting thing popped up for the advertisement for this movie. Okay. Way back in the ancient days of 1998, there was a website that was called What is the Matrix? And it was one of the most successful marketing campaigns since Forrest Gump. Because with Forrest Gump, there'd just be posters and billboards when you're walking down the street that was just like blue letters on a white background that said Gump. And we were like, what is this Gump? And we didn't know that it was Tom Hanks playing a role that makes everybody cry unless you're a robot or you have no soul. And sure enough, a few years later, what is the matrix? I don't know. What is the matrix? Well, according to the dictionary, a matrix is something that you build a larger structure upon, but not to be confused with a scaffolding. Also, a framework for a computer program. But what is the matrix? I don't know what the matrix is. And then we got Lawrence Fishburne wearing the coolest glasses in the world, and Keanu Reeves, 90s Keanu Reeves, perfectly cast in a place that gave context to the word whoa. And we found out what the Matrix was. Man, did we find out what the Matrix was. Matt, did you find out what the Matrix was?
I saw Matrix much later than when it was like in theaters, and God, I was blown away. It was an amazing A-list movie, accessible to the general public, that also got very deep and thoughtful. And for those sci-fi nerds, it was very approachable. For cinema, big cinema art fans, it had a place. It managed to hit all cylinders for, I feel like, a wide variety of audience members, and that very creative. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I so found out what the Matrix was. And the interesting thing was that I was studying Kung Fu at the time, specifically Northern Shaolin Wushu. And I go to class and I'm like, oh my God, I just saw this movie over the weekend called The Matrix and blah, blah, blah. And my teacher's like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I would like call you names and stuff, but you know how to tap dance on my face and look really cool while you're doing it. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, okay, Lao Su. And that's it. And one of my instructors was like, yeah, she was on the Beijing Wushu team with Jet Li, and you know, she's really not impressed by all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's why I hurt all the time. And they were like, yeah, that's exactly why we hurt. And then we had two more movies that they were kind of like first to second gear um diesel trucks, you know, first and second gear big rigs, where as the Matrix started you off and it was just at neck break speed, the other two movies was, what am I watching? What am I, huh? Well, do I need a video game for this? Oh yeah, I need a video game for, oh, I need an animated thing for this. It became a very successful franchise. But what it was conversation fodder for the next 20 years. Was it conversation fodder? What did they mean by that? Did you catch the metamorphosis stuff? Do you see it as an allegory for transgenderism? It's been hijacked by right-wing conspiracy theorists. Even now we talk about red pill and blue pill and all that stuff. So it was a cultural phenomenon that meant a lot. And you know what we do with cultural phenomenons here in the United States of America, right? We just keep it going. We keep it going. We beat it into the ground like a punchline that's funny the first time you hear it and is less funny every time you hear it after that, like the B sharps. So let's check out. Well, what's so funny about the B sharps?
Oh, nothing, especially because there's a baby on board. That's some serious topic. You gotta be careful with that shit.
Yeah. It's a B sharp. So let us check out this trailer for, well, we had The Matrix. Then we had The Matrix Reloaded. Then we had The Matrix Revolutions. And after that, I think we had The Matrix Roundabout, and then The Matrix Rewind. And let us check out the new. Let's check out the.
Before we do it, let's do a countdown so we can play at the same time.
All right.
All right.
So let's check out The Matrix Resurrection in 3, 2, 1. Let me unmute this and go.
Good. Okay.
It's a kitty.
Kitty hands. Hey, it's a Neil Patrick Harris.
Uh-oh. Are they gonna have a special guest appearance by Sweeney Todd?
Or Starship Troopers.
Or he's the music meister.
Yeah. He wasn't in Sweeney Todd. Wait a minute. Who was he in Sweeney Todd?
He was Sweeney Todd on stage. Neil
Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes.
I mean, Michael Cerveris was on Broadway.
I could be wrong.
2005. I mean, he might have, but I've never seen him. Johnny Depp was Sweeney Todd in the movie.
Yeah, but you know, everyone's Sweeney Todd is really Kelsey Grammer. Let's not BS.
Michael Cerveris did a good job on the Broadway readaptation. It was amazing.
Yeah.
With Patti LuPone, and of course, yeah, we should be talking about The Matrix.
Wow. Yeah. I'm seeing all the comments in the YouTube right now. Why are they talking Sweeney Todd? We're talking over the trailer so I don't get flagged, all right?
Time to fly.
Hey, it's Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Like, what happened to Cowboy Curtis?
Turn the lights off.
And it's interesting. It's like modern day Keanu Reeves with the long hair and the beard. It's just kind of how I always see him.
Well, I'm glad that we've gone real time.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
You don't.
Finally.
Man, did Keanu get a little black there? He's like, you don't know me.
Squiddies. It looks very pretty.
I like that they've dropped the green tent.
Oh, and they got different agents now. It's not Elrond.
I think Priscilla was busy.
Also, he died in the third movie, so he became a virus. that movies, I feel like they were just making shit up at the second and third movie. They didn't have like the levels. How do you stop a god? I mean, Keanu is more or less a god in the Matrix.
By making him forget.
Matrix.
I guess.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The Matrix
Was that the Miz?
Resurrection.
Was that the Miz talking to Keanu? It looked like the Miz for a second.
That is quite possible. Yep, the 22nd. So, what do I really think about this trailer?
What do you think about it?
I'll take two, please. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not hyped. I'm not like, oh man, oh god, oh my god. I'm like my depression when I don't take my meds. Oh my god, But I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it. Unless the Mu variant puts us where we were last year around that time. I'm gonna go see that. That particular flick looks yeah, it looks like a very free a very fitting follow-up. There's a few telling things that are in that trailer. Where are you sitting with it?
You know, it's interesting to me because I feel like Hollywood's taking all these failed franchises, because I feel like back in the day they were trying to make franchises, go making sequels and ruining them, and now they're trying to reboot them. They did it with Halloween. I mentioned Halloween earlier. And that's what it feels like. It feels like a reboot, and to have that reaction that you're describing where you're like, oh my God, I'd have to have been invested throughout the entire journey. And frankly, the Matrix journey that they had put me through got me like uninvested. So seeing this gets me interested. I'm not like crazy wild, only because they already had me, had me lose my interest in the franchise. But this does pique my interest enough to want to see it again.
Okay. All right. I can definitely see where you're coming with that. There were a couple of things that I'm just kind of like, wait, I don't get it. I don't quite understand. Like, there's a scene.
As a trailer should, you know?
There's a scene where Keanu is he's like looking in the mirror and he's like, wait, that's not me. Whoa. And of course, we got Dr. Manhattan, who's no longer just an analog for Obama. Like saying, hey, have a pill. I got him from my daddy. Because he definitely looks like a Morpheus offspring. Like, hey, I found my dad's sunglasses along with his stuff at the funeral, and I think I want to start a revolution, type of thing.
And behind the scenes, they just hired a bald black guy. You're good.
Oh, no. They got what's his name? Mahatma Abdullah something. We know him as
Oh no, they got like a valuable one, but like one that I care about.
I was about to say, watch it, man. No, because he's cool, from the Get Down to Aquaman to the Matrix movies. Like he's been getting up there,
He's been doing great, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, pretty soon we're gonna have him and Samara Weaving in a movie together, and then we're just gonna hit like new actor singularity. That's just.
But I wonder what was going on behind the scenes to not get Fishburne back.
Yeah, that is very much a question. But they only have one of the Wachowskis directing on this. So, as far as the BTS stuff, I don't know, man. The trailer just dropped, and I'm just going, whoa, it's actually happening. Because people have been talking about a new trailer or a new Matrix for a long time. But This is the 21st century, and this is the internet, and we know how fans are on the internet. If you go to a Reddit post, there is gonna be a Beauty and the Beast Part 3 where Belle decides to get a divorce, and she forms a Marvel superhero team with Ilsa and Anna, and they're making 5 more Indiana Jones movies, and they're going to use a deep fake of Harrison Ford. So
they already made a Beauty and the Beast 3. You don't remember that one? It was a Christmas anthology.
Wow. See, yeah. Again, I'm a Warner Brothers kid.
No. I'm sorry. I got it wrong. The sequel was a Christmas movie, and the third one was a short anthology. It felt like a series of pilots for a show that wasn't ever made. Just a
Yeah.
bunch of little adventures, and it was a pretty shit. Bell's Magical World. Like, I don't remember.
Well, like I said, I'm a Warner kid. I'm not a Disney kid, and we got our sins too. Like our sins, Space Jam 2 is still in theaters right now. So, it's just a thing. It really is one of those things. But yeah, I gotta say, like, I really like, I like a lot that they're pulling in, a lot of the member berries run deep on this one. It's like, member follow the white rabbit, huh? Member the white rabbit? And I'm like, yeah, I remember. Are they gonna have a copy of Gossard's Simulacrum somewhere? Because I remember the Matrix, but seriously, like, all right, all jokes aside, all right, this is like, no, but seriously, this does look like a really decent follow-up. I like a lot of the changes that they made to the normal Matrix stuff. There's not as much green, not as much rain. Looks like the martial arts are doing okay. And yeah, we got new Keanu, and this is the new popular Keanu. Because, not gonna lie, y'all, I saw the third Bill and Ted movie, and I'm not really digging Keanu without the facial hair. I'm really not doing it. Watching him play Bill S. Preston Esquire, I'm like, yeah, he can still play the part, but he just doesn't look like the slacky teenager,
I always thought it was funny that Ted was a lost boy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah, Ted Theodore Logan.
He
Or
was
good
one
old
of
Alex
the lost
Winters.
boys.
Yeah, Marco. As a matter of
Mhm.
fact, that was his name, because that was back in the days when vampires didn't sparkle. They were Kiefer Sutherland. So
I'm
after
not
they
sure
cure
they
their
sparkle
vampires,
anymore. I feel like that's kind of old news now. These
Well,
days,
let's
vampire.
hope. Yeah, let's hope. But now back in my day, vampires grew up and they started kicking people in the balls a lot on television because they were secret agents.
And having a lot of sex, both with the same gender and other genders, and everything in between.
Wait,
and
that was on. Oh, I was like, wait a second, that was on 24. I haven't watched season 3.
it was everywhere else but 24.
Gotcha.
Anne Rice was dominating the 90s with vampires.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Those were fun too. I like
Yeah.
the Anne Rice world.
The Anne Rice world was very cool. Not enough wizards for me. Again, I'm a Jim Busher guy. But all in all, I'm really looking forward. Like, I remember The Matrix in '98 came out around Christmas, and I'm like, I'm liking this whole Christmas action movie type thing, because back then it was like Matrix and Harry Potter. That's what Christmas was for a good amount of years. So I was dealing, and I was getting a little bored with Christmas is a time for a new Marvel movie. So this seems like a nice little stop. This is really looking like a really good stop. Oh yeah, no, off of talking, I'm right there with you. He's like, my experience with vampires were the Malkavian serial killers. That's right, because all hail the D10. But
To
yeah,
be fair, my favorite vampires are silent and come from German Expressionism, but that's whatever. I'm a Max
Ah.
Schreck.
Look at me, I like Nosferatu. Fine, give me German Expressionism.
I love that shit, man.
Oh, believe me,
That's
I know.
great. The stuff Tim Burton liked,
Yeah.
before it was cool.
Yeah, but every time I watch German Expressionism, I just want to tear down the machine and give power to the proletariat and things like that. But I'm from the big city. It's a thing. Speaking of which, you're living in New York now, right?
I'm everywhere, man. I'm actually not really living in one place. I'm wherever Shockfest Film Festival is, and currently I'm in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Last year I
All
was in 5 cities. Middle of COVID, I was in Manhattan, Salem, Massachusetts, Amarillo, Texas, Vegas, and Hollywood.
Jeepers. Well,
Man, I'm a traveling man.
made a lot of stops.
Yeah,
Oh my God, all the bad music.
I love
But
that
yeah.
song.
But yeah, so all in all, let's check out what the chat has to say over here. These guys hold it down for me, man. Seriously, the chat. I love the deck mob. Let's see. Yep. Oh, Mage More. That's right, Alpha Togen. We're all about the purple book. Oh, we've got black and white now in color. You know, oh man. Yeah. They've been talking about gaming mostly. I don't know. Maybe I should start doing that.
Talking about games.
Yeah, like that's every other show on the channel. And I don't
Well,
mean
yeah,
like
back in
one
the
show
deck,
like
of
this. Yeah.
course.
Oh yeah, I know, but you know, we always got to bust a recap on certain things, especially since let's face it, as people who play RPGs, we steal most of our ideas from popular movies and anime. I mean, that's just what we do.
Hey,
And
if you steal from multiple sources, it's research, okay?
exactly. And it's also genius. Genius. You know, we're not talented, we're genius.
Oh, it's only plagiarism if you steal from one source.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so this I'm really looking forward to these things. Absolute Carnage looks like a blast, or not absolute, Let There Be Carnage. Looks like a blast because we got Woody Harrelson being crazy again. And
I love Woody, but he looks so weird in that wig. It looks like a Party City wig.
hey, now we see him. And anything beyond that, I'm happy. I'm like, oh, he's not doing another Now You See Me. That's fun. Okay, cool.
By the way, I'm excited. I love Woody and I love Carnage. It's just that I remember seeing that at the end of Venom and it just made me laugh because like, what the hell? Where'd you get that wig? Come on.
Oh, they changed his wig. They
Good.
changed his hair. They
Finally,
changed his hair in
good.
the trailer. So, you know, they just gave him a dye job, and I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
There's the Woody I know.
They got
You
the
know.
memo.
Yeah, it was called Twitter. All of it was like, what's up with his hair? Even Black Twitter was like, what you doing? What you
They did-
doing with that
got-
wig?
Got the Sonic the Hedgehog treatment.
Looks like he was wearing knuckles in that at the end of Venom. That's all I'm saying. But with that, man, I want to thank you for showing up because we have now hit time, and I want to
Cool.
do it before the music starts playing me off like I'm sitting up on the Oscars. But major thanks, major thanks, to the Deck Mob. We are looking at our Deck Mob over in NP City. I want to say hey to Alpha Togen, another TTV viewer, Black and White now in color, Clever Little Vixen, Arabs. Oh, what do we got? We got Equilove. Hey, welcome and thanks for tuning in to our thing. And again, Strange Sad Little Man. Well, don't be sad, man. This is a place where you can be strange. Definitely want to thank you, Matt, for bailing me out on this one. this was really
Man, thanks for having me. It was fun. Hit me up again. I'll come back if you like me.
Oh.
That was fun.
I think they like you. Yeah, I know that all you really wanted was their respect, and it turns out they like you. They really like you.
They love me.
But yeah, and so yeah, thank you guys for joining us and busting a recap. We're taking the weekend off, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get the schedule back onto something closer. I'm still rebuilding the schedule or the studio, and deciding whether or not I'm gonna put a wall unit air conditioning. But yeah, so that's the thing. Oh, damn it! There it is. There it is. Yep, being played off like I'm at the Oscars. Gotta love it. And I also want to thank my production crew. I want to thank my co-host Matt. Tell them where they can find you.
Oh yeah, just you can find me on, you know what, I'll send you Shockfest Film Festival. Just look up Shockfest Film Festival or at Shockfest Horror Factory. That's where a lot of my work is these days. You can also look us up for Haunted Routes is our documentary series where we map out haunted road trips across the U.S. My name is Matthew Rose Valley, spelled like a valley of roses, one word, no letter E's. I know that's so confusing. But check out Shockfest Film Festival. We do a lot of cool stuff. We travel the country. We promote a lot of great filmmakers from people who are just starting to, you know, legends like Rob Zombie. James Gunn actually was one of our guests a couple years ago. Eli Roth was another guest of honor. Yeah, we have fun. We celebrate movies and put on interactive experiences, both live and virtual.
That is awesome. And again, if you guys are just now joining us on the show, it's too late. We've talked about trailers. We've talked about Sweeney Todd. But if,
For some reason.
you know, if you guys want to check out some of our other stuff and a lot of our other guest hosts and co-hosts and conversations, all you have to do is just take $1 of your time and head over to patreon.com/BID_P. And for as little as $1, that's even less than a cup of coffee at 7-Eleven, and I know we got better taste than that, you can become a Decker. And we've got 6 levels, and the stuff that we give away is just plain crazy. We're talking props for your cosplay, dice rollers, and I don't mean like, look, it's a box that you drop your dice in. You know, for our $100 tier members, we've got stuff like this. Look at this guy. This is awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Black and White, for subscribing. That is awesome. Like, you are, look at this right here. This is so great. You know, even little Die is doing his little backflipping on that. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, all you got to do is open up your email and type in backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. And you can send me your questions, your comments, ask our opinions about stuff. Be like, hey, when are we having that cute guy on that does all that horror movie stuff? And I'll see what I can do. And if I can't get him, I'll call Matt again. And again, you can hit us up on Twitter @BackInTheDeck, Instagram @BackInTheDeck, Facebook on Deckers on the Book, if you were part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy. And we are building a TikTok, y'all. But now that we're doing this stuff on 2 platforms, so thumbs up and like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when we go live and when we put stuff up. That's right, we are on YouTube now. But if you are going to be on our Patreon, well, our Patreon will have a whole lot more live performances, the puppet shows, the skits that we're filming, and a whole lot more interesting stuff. And what do you got to lose? It's $1 a month. You know, I'll tell you this, at $10 a month, you get a little miniature that looks just like me that you can use as a monster in all your D&D games and your other things. Like some of our people use them as Monopoly pieces because I am the poster boy for capitalism. But with that, I gotta say thank you for showing up and thank you for helping me bust a recap on these trailers. We will see you next week.